Camp, you talked about it a few times, Jarian, but just continuing to see that consistency, is that what kind of was the next thing that you guys were looking for in his development?
Yeah, he's been really good for us. Like you said, just a lot of consistency in his play. I thought he played really well the other day, and he's a guy you can rely on. So he's just been super locked in, serious, in the meetings and out there on the field. He's been really good as a communicator too. So I think he's really comfortable in the system. He's definitely taking the strides we were looking for.
17 combined snaps for Strigo and Green. What did you make of how they played?
I thought they did a really good job. I thought they gave us the effort, competitiveness that we were looking for. When you go back and watch those plays, there's a lot of plays that guys not staying blocked, and that's what makes a good defensive unit. Guys not staying blocked, right? There's going to be somebody to account for you. Can you whip that block? Can you get to the football? If you hit the ground, get up like it's a hot stove. That type of mentality. They brought that to us out there the other day and did a good job.
How well is Eric playing right now? It seems like over the last few weeks he's made a couple of splashes.
Yeah, he's doing a good job for us. He made some big plays in the game the other day, not just in the pass game, but in the run game. Even some of the rushes that didn't exactly get home, he affected the QB. And he's another guy just from a leadership perspective. What he's brought to some of the younger guys on the team and the message for the defense, I think Eric's been awesome that way. And I really, we appreciate him for the effort that he's given us out on the field and also what he's doing in the building.
What have you kind of learned about Josh Allen since you got here? After your initial impressions watching the tape, what have you learned about him, really, the person?
The person, I just think he cares. He cares about his teammates. He's hyper competitive, wants to be a great player. And isn't satisfied if he doesn't think his performance is where he wants it to be. So guys like that usually get it to where they want things to go. And he's always working at it. He does actually. If you come to practice, I know you guys are out there for individual, but if you got there early, he'd be out there for a half hour, working rush or working concepts in the run game, that we're trying to get done. And he does a great job of that every day, and he's brought a lot of the younger guys with him doing that extra stuff, and that stuff's starting to pay off for those guys too. So from a leadership perspective, I definitely have learned a lot about him, but he's a super competitive guy.
Then Juan Thornhill, obviously a ton of experience. What do you kind of like about him and bringing him into your safety room?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Juan Thornhill?
Oh yeah, Juan, he's great, man. He's been awesome, and obviously anytime you get a guy with a veteran presence and has played a bunch of reps, played a ton of plays in this league, it's really a good feeling to know you got a guy back there that's got a lot of experience, and he's been through a lot of stuff in systems, different systems across the league. So I'm excited to have him here.
The way Arizona uses McBride, how different or similar to the way Bowers is used to coming to see?
Yeah, very similar. He's got all the skill sets of a great receiver, and much like Bowers can accelerate after the catch. So we have to do a great job against them. That's is a point of emphasis. You got to know what their plan is and how they're using them, and we got to have a good feel for where he is every snap, because he's really done a tremendous job this year and last year. He's one of the better players at that position in the entire league.
This past Sunday, B.J. Green got flagged for what would have been a sack. Trayvon Walker was flagged against the Texans.
Yep.
In the beginning of the season, players talked about how they wanted to have an aggressive identity. How do you coach to keep the aggressive edge, but also try not to get penalized in the game?
Yeah, I think you just got to coach. Somebody has something similar recently, but you just got to coach the fundamentals of that, like running through the strike zone, right? Trying to get your head to the side, not slamming quarterback through the ground, all that. I don't think any of that stuff is easy for a defensive player. The game was different when I was playing, so that's stuff that you're constantly looking at and talking to other people about, like how you can do a great job of that and not be penalized, because when you do make a great play, like BJ did the other day, and Trey made a great one the other day against Houston, that's hard, so we got to do a great job of that as coaches, trying to put them in a situation where we don't want to take the aggressiveness away from our guys. That's the bottom line. We want them to go 1,000 miles an hour, and get right up to the point of contact and making sure you're doing it within the rules. That's really my best answer for you.
Is it frustrating though, because we have those two guys get penalized, but then you have Smoot who wraps them up, tries his hardest not to, slam them at the end?
Yeah, I think it's all part of it. That's tough, but we just got to do a good job coaching it. I mean, like Smoop did a great job on the rush right there, you know, and did a really good job with his feet and upper body. Got in on one, and you know those are two right there that we feel like could have came away with in the game also. So it's a tough deal, but we just got to keep them going the way they're going. You know, the way we were going on Sunday, we got to keep that mentality and effort to the quarterback and do a good job getting them down on the ground.
Cooper set the NFL record last week.
Yeah.
What did you just take away from him, his performance, and what he's kind of brought to their offense?
Yeah, so Jacoby was in Miami my second year there. Really bright guy. I mean, he knows what's going on every snap. You know, he can see the defense. He works at it. You know, and obviously started his career up in New England. You know, and he's been well coached ever since. Everywhere he's been pretty successful, and a guy that you can rely on. So really, just a good veteran quarterback who knows where to go with the football, and he can get it there quickly. He's still a tough guy to bring down in the pocket because he's a big, strong dude. But yeah, I think he's done an unbelievable job this year, and really as good as anybody. If you look at it statistically, you know, in the weeks that he's been playing, he's played really well. So he's definitely a guy you got to have a plan for. He's done a good job for them.
And then Christian Braswell, obviously you guys always see what he can do in practice, but so much more confidence does it give you now seeing it in game action, see what he can do?
I always had confidence in him because he went to Rutgers, you know, so that's like appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, he spent so much time in Jersey, you figured that would be like a really good thing for him. But nah, he's been awesome. He's really competitive in camp. Everybody on our team loves Braz because he don't say too much, man. He just goes to work. He works hard. He's competitive. I thought he played really well the other day. I was happy for him. You know, and happy for our team because I thought he did a great job. He's a great competitor, man. So yeah, really excited about his performance the other day.
Hey, you mentioned New Jersey, Thanksgiving next week. When you were growing up, did that be playing on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we always played on Thanksgiving. I grew up. My brothers always played on Thanksgiving, and that was like a 10:30 in the morning game. So that was like the whole day. You went to the high school football game, you know, and then you came home, and usually I would rush home. Me and my brother would rush home because Barry Sanders was playing that day. And you didn't get to watch him all the time back then, so we used to race home to watch the Lions game or something. But yeah, I got a lot of memories of that, going to, you know, high school football games and then playing as a player. Yeah, and then coaching, honestly, when I was a high school coach. So that was, yeah. That was a grind because I used to bartend too, and I had to work Wednesday night and then coach the game on Thursday. You know, that was a big night in that business. So, yeah, that was a grind. It was like a 1 hour sleep night for me. But yeah, a lot of memories on that football on Thanksgiving.
So all the college kids came on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that was it was like a big day of the year. You actually make some money. Yeah, amateur night. Yeah. But I was right back to work. Trust me, it was like a 45-minute sleep. You were coaching the game. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Cap. Appreciate it.